Hello, Roto here, giving a tutorial on the AIM-54 Phoenix. Now, before I go into how to use these weapons, I'm first going to outline the differences between the versions we have in DCS. So, first of all, we have the AIM-54A Mark 47. This is one of the older first versions of the AIM-54. It uses a old analog seeker, and you can expect it to have a range of roughly 120 miles. But keep in mind, this is if the aircraft you're using is going roughly about Mach 2 and you're firing the missile at a very high altitude. We then have the Mach 60 version. What this does is give it a new booster which increases the range up to roughly about 140 miles. But again, that is very unlikely you'd be able to actually achieve that kind of range with this missile on conventional use. Next, we have a pretty substantial upgrade. We have the AIM-54C Mark 47. This replaces the old analog seeker with the digital seeker. One of the major advantages you have with this is the ability for it to reacquire a lock. So say you lost the lock on your radar, and the missile will go to a last known location of the target, and it might try to reacquire the lock. And then the same situation with the Mark 60, it extends the range. Now, the one disadvantage the AIM-54C has is it's quite a lot heavier. This reduces its maximum range and reduces its acceleration. So typically, if you're firing at bombers and you know you're not going to lose the lock, the AIM-54A Mark 60 is going to be the preferable target. But for fighter-sized targets that you may be in a dogfight with or in a BVR fight, the AIM-54C is the preferable weapon. So first of all, we're going to run through some of the controls we'll need to fire the weapon. The first one we'll need is toggle menu. This is the gesture wheel menu, and it is the easiest way without multi-crew to lock onto a target. Next we'll need the trigger, then we'll need weapon selector up, weapon selector down, and weapon selector press. These will cycle through the weapons that you are using. And then finally, radar STT lock ahead. This is a quick way to tell Jester to lock the target that is ahead of you. So here we are in active pause, just while I run you through some of the buttons we're going to press. So the first button we're going to need is these three here. So the gun rate of fire one, this just increases it low to high. If you want to turn on this one, make sure it's on, and then this one, make sure it's on. We go to master arm, on, and we come down here, go to air, and then down here, look at the screen, we'll press this will give us our radar screen, so we know what Jester's looking at, and then this one here is just our camera for if we are in a dogfight or if we're a bit closer we can identify visually what the target is. So now we have pressed all the buttons we need, we are going to cycle through our weapons. So we have gun, sidewinder, Sparrow, and then press, we got Phoenix. At the moment I currently just have one Phoenix loaded. So I'm now going to unpause, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and find that aircraft on the radar. So we're going to go to the gesture wheel, we're going to go and tell him to go to the radar settings, and we're going to try and go with Triple Scan Auto. Next we're going to give him the TID range, we're going to have it set to around 100 miles. Now it can be a bit difficult sometimes for Jester to see targets at this distance, but sometimes he'll spot them right away. At the moment he has not spotted a target, so I'll come back when Jester has a target. Okay, so we currently have a target on the radar, and what we're going to do is we're not going to lock them up, because we could do that, we could use the STT lock, but once it starts flashing like this now,
Bandit, raw, 300, 88 miles, 30,000.
Just to tell you the parameters of the target, and we can tell that we're in range. We're at 85 miles, so what we're going to do is we're going to climb up a little bit. There we go, and then we're going to hold down the trigger and fox through. Now what you'll notice this missile does is it will climb really high altitude. Because it's such a draggy missile, it needs to get into really thin air. So as you can see, it's almost vertically climbing. So we'll come back when it's near to the target. Okay, so we can see that the missile has now gone active. If we lost the radar lock now, the missile would continue to track, and it's about to hit the target. Splash. The missile has a very, very big warhead, so typically whatever you hit, it will get destroyed. So thank you for watching the tutorial on the AIM-54.